back to the journey. I am here at the house. I am not doing anything right now. I just put out a video called The Past is Coming for Us. In that video, it's going over everything that's going on right now that's going crazy. Let me drop this curtain. Try to kill some of that light. But everything going on right now, prices are going crazy. Land prices, just everything is going nuts, and prices are definitely going up uh, overnight. Out here, I know a lot of people are paying a lot more for gas, a lot more for products than we are out here in Arkansas. Our gas was 2.79 a gallon, and overnight, hey DT, how you doing? And overnight, our gas jumped 10 cents a gallon to 2.89. Now in Harrison, where Carla works, they've always been about 10 cents more expensive, so now they are 2.99 a gallon. I know when I was in Colorado, it was 3.40 all the way up to $4 and some change per gallon. Um, but Arkansas is cheaper. That's another reason why I moved out here to Arkansas. The big problem right now is prices in the store are skyrocketing. I just went and bought puppy chow. It's going up. Uh, Doing the construction here in Carla's house. The electric wire, I told her we need it. We looked at it. 144 bucks a roll. Went back the next day. It's now 152 or $153 a roll. So it went up 9-10 bucks a roll. I didn't have enough lumber, so we had to grab 5 more boards. Those boards were now $1 more a board from 5 days prior or 4 days prior of going. The cost is going up. So I just want to put out this video. I've been watching all different news, the YouTubers. I do my research on everything. And this is planned. This is supposed to happen the way it's happening. We have several things that are occurring. We have hyperinflation starting. People don't see the signs of it, but like I talked about in my other video, the past is coming for us, that I just put out live, or not live, but I just put out, made it public. You can go watch that after this, or if you're watching it, then you'll see this video afterwards. But back in the Weimar Republic of Germany, all the different countries, I can't even think right now because it's just crazy everything going on. I'm doing all this research right now. And I used to be in the doomsday prepper standpoint. I used to have 7 to 10 years worth of stuff set and everything else. And in that mindset of everything's ending, asteroids, volcanoes. No, I never thought all that, but I did think things were coming down to a close. Now we are seeing that. We are seeing the beginning of hyperinflation, which this will be a long process, but it is a rapid process at the same time. In the other countries, you saw money go down in value, things went up in price, pay had to go up in price, governments continue printing more and more money, and that's exactly what's happening right now. We are printing more and more money, trillions of dollars for this bailout, trillions of dollars for this bailout. What happened to back 2008? Just 13 years ago. We were what? Printing out billions. The Fed was buying billions. So we went from billions to trillions in 13 years. And if you don't know the difference between millions and billions and trillions, you should do your research on that, because when you talk trillions, it is so much money supply. And people are fogged over right now. So this is kind of a wake-up video to pay attention, to get your stuff together, to be prepared. And like I said in my other video, you want to get land. You want to get something that you can farm on, something you can live on, something you can invest in, because that's going to be how you're going to make it through this. Also, other investments, precious metals, possibly cryptocurrency. But just buying food, just buying stuff is not going to bring you wealth. Property values are skyrocketing. People are talking about They can't believe I'm going to buy new property at these high rates. Why don't I wait until the prices come down? The problem is with hyperinflation and devaluing of assets and currencies and everything like that, is that price isn't coming down. It's going to continue going up until everything collapses, because that's how hyperinflation happens. You're going to go from a house that was 20,000, like I bought here in Marshall, Arkansas. In the video, I said Colorado, but here in Arkansas, that house is already worth more money because the houses around here have already skyrocketed. Prices will continue to keep going up, and the only way to survive is to keep buying assets, letting the value go up, and try to roll that money into the next thing to try to stay above the curve. And that's why 90% of people, when a country or empire or society or a money system collapses, 90% of the people struggle, die out, and get hurt over the situation because they cannot compete. You're looking at Walmart and Kroger, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Costco, Sam's Club, everything. Look at the prices. The prices are going up and the packaging's getting even smaller. Things are changing overnight, if not daily. It's just crazy right now. So you need to prepare yourself. You need to figure out what you're going to do. If you have some extra money, buy some extra canned goods, rice, beans, things that will last a bit, because hyperinflation is not something to mess with. You want to research Zimbabwe, Weimar Republic, all the different countries, all the different societies that have gone through hyperinflation. Google hyperinflation. Go on YouTube, go on Google, and look at the stores being ransacked right now. If everybody thought that things disappeared during the whole situation of 2020 and 2021, you're in for a big change now, because when hyperinflation hits, things will disappear. We have cargo ships stuck at sea, nothing can come in, nothing's going out. Businesses are being shut down again. Some places around the world are being locked down again. If manufacturing isn't happening, if farming's not happening, if distribution and trucking and shipping is not happening, things are not going to get to the stores. I've been telling Carla that the last several times we've gone to Walmart and Home Depot. We got to wait a week to 2 weeks for something that should be stocked. Doing the electrical, there's outlet boxes that are gone. You can't get them, and the ones that they do have, they have limits, and that's another big telltale sign of hyperinflation. They're using the limit orders of what you can buy in the store. For example, back with the toilet paper, you could only buy 2 things of toilet paper packages, not single rolls. Some stores went down to single rolls, but that's the signature move of hyperinflation, not because of something going on with sickness and stuff like that. It's hyperinflation because if you look at all the countries that have gone through it, they all start limiting. They will say this so many per trip in, then it will go so many per day, then so many per week, and then you can get a package box that they make for you, and then you get that once a week or daily or whatever, depending on the government, depending on the society and what all happens in that hyperinflation scenario. So that is a big thing to look for right now, is everything is being limited. It's not just toilet paper like it was a year ago. It is now milk, it is eggs, outlet boxes at Home Depot, PEX piping. We just had to wait over a week to get PEX piping so I can even do the plumbing, to fix the plumbing here, because they didn't have 100-foot rolls. They didn't have anything but the 6-foot sticks. And in the blue, they didn't even have any of the 6-foot sticks. You had to buy a 4-foot stick. So things are just rampant. Things are going up in price. It is happening. Everybody on YouTube, you got to watch these people on YouTube. They're telling you to stock up on food, stock up on seed. But you have to understand the seeds don't do you any good if you don't have land to farm, if you haven't grown a garden before, if you don't know about pests, if you don't know about weather conditions, if you don't know about germination rates of seeds, how to fertilize seeds, how to grow the plant, maintain the plant, and how long it takes to get food from that plant. If you look at most of those seed packets, it's if everything goes right, like pumpkins, just say are 5 months or 4 months, whatever the rate is. I don't have seed packets in front of me. But whatever it says on there, 78 days, 95 days, whatever it says, that's if everything goes right. If that seed germinates, if no bugs get to it, if no disease gets to the plant, if the weather cooperates, if you don't have a drought in your area, and you have good fertile soil, then you will get food in that many months. The problem is, if something happens in supply chain now and you can't get any food and you're reliant on the seeds to grow your own food, you have to eat before 2 to 4 months from now. You have to be able to consume food before then. So if you're thinking that's going to happen, you're sadly mistaken. If you think you're going to run out to the woods and shoot a deer and everything like that, that's what another 300 million Americans think they're going to do. Well, guess what? There's not that many deer in the woods. There's not that many squirrels or rabbits or anything else. Go back to the Great Depression. Look at how small game and everything disappeared during the Great Depression because everybody was trying to get what they could. Places were overfished. Hunting was overhunted. Just everything was stripped, raped, and robbed and pillaged right off of the land and the area in those areas. So you want to do something to prepare yourself. You need to get land. That's the number one thing you need to do. And not just land. You need to get land that's farmable, that has lumber on it, that has water source on it. If you're waiting for prices to come down, you are nuts. Prices are going to keep going up. I am not a financial advisor, but I will tell you, you think that $500,000 house is too expensive now? Wait till that $500,000 house is $1 million or $5 million or $10 million or $100 million with hyperinflation going up. Another part of the prices going up, we have several things that are happening that people aren't talking about. One was the biggest mistake our government made, and that was they paid farmers to take all those potatoes, the pigs, and all that stuff. They slaughtered, killed, burned, buried, and destroyed a year ago because they said, oh, restaurants aren't buying that much. We can't get rid of this food. Well, instead of dropping the prices so everybody could afford to get a decent supply, what did they do? They destroyed all that, printed a lot more money, just like I'm talking about for hyperinflation. They got to keep printing money, got to keep chucking bales of money at the situation, thinking they're going to get out. The problem is they're trying to dig out with a fork. It's not pulling nothing up. The liquid's going right through, the cash is going right down the drain. So when they printed all that money and all the farmers destroyed all those crops, it killed supply. So you went from, say, 100 pieces or 100 cows, and society needs 10 cows a month. And it takes so many months for new cows to be born and back up to that same ratio. That 10 to 100 ratio worked out. Well, now we destroyed 100 cows, or say we destroyed 80 cows. So we had 20 cows. Society needs the 10 cows. Well, it's going to take 3 more months past that next 10 cows to produce another 10 cows. So by the time we get to that next 10 cows, that's happening right now. Prices are skyrocketing because we are at that limit that we don't have the supply. So what have we been taught? Supply and demand. If there's no supply and high demand, prices will continue to skyrocket. And that's the problem. We will not gain this supply back. And with the lockdowns that everybody went through around the world, what did they do? They had time with each other and they produced little humans. Little humans are popping up and we're going to have a big wave. Well, what's that going to mean? All new mouths to feed, all new diapers, all new cleaning supplies, cribs, baby clothes, everything else. What's that going to do to the supply crunch? That's going to add more strain to it. With all the ships being docked out at sea and not able to come into port, that is stopping it. Um, we're spending money not to get stuff into this country. That's causing issues. And then you also got to look at the jobs. Nobody wants to work. Why? Because we're printing trillions and trillions of dollars to give people money to sit at home and not do a job. So if nobody's there to drive the truck, if nobody's there to unload the cargo ship, if nobody's there to dock the ship or bring the ship across or work in the warehouse or out in the field to pull the potatoes out of the ground, the whole supply chain crumbles. Like they say in history, all it takes is a chink in the chain to ruin the whole assembly line. And that's what we have. Chink here, chink here, chink here, chink here, and it's getting worse and worse. So the only thing you can do is prepare to deal with higher inflation, higher prices. The next big key that we're destroying is the minimum wage. Everybody talks about, oh, we need $15 an hour minimum wage, and they just want to keep pumping up salaries. The problem is you're pumping up salaries, which pumps up the prices. The prices cost more, and your salary gets less. So when you were making $10 an hour, you could buy a meal at McDonald's for $7. Now you're going to $15 an hour wage, and meals at McDonald's are $10. So everything is just going up and up and up. But the problem is your wages lose value because the higher amount of money you make, the more taxes you're paying. When you're paying more taxes, you got less money. Nobody's thinking of that. Also, you have to think about the whole gold silver issue. I haven't been in gold and silver for a while, but it still holds true. A 1964 silver quarter back in the day would buy you a gallon of gas. $1 back in 1964 would buy you 4 gallons of gas. Come to today, that silver quarter is worth well over $3 or $4 now, for somewhere up in there, which buys you a gallon of gas. That dollar will not even buy you a third of a gallon of gas. So what is happening to the dollar? The dollar is going down. You need to look at it. If you got to go into debt, I know a lot of people don't want to be in debt, but I'm telling you, that $20,000 house I just bought is worth more money because of hyperinflation. If I would have held that $20,000 cash, that $20,000 would not buy that house right now. So buying property, going into debt to make it where you have farmable land, land with timber that you can build your own house, wood to harvest for whatever situation you need, to heat your home, to cook your meals, for survival, to make fence posts so you can get some livestock like in the 1800s. I understand people don't understand how to homestead anymore. And that's why I have a homestead channel, because that is what I plan to do. I just have to get my permanent place. And yes, I may spend $500,000 to get to that place now versus a year ago when property was a lot cheaper. But that's the thing. If I would have bought property a year ago, look at how much that property would be worth now. What I could take that money and turn that money into. There will always be deals out there to be had. Even in the Great Depression, when prices were rampant like they're going today, people were able to survive. People were able to live comfortably people were able to make money. Just like what I plan to do, if I can sell my two properties, I plan to roll them into the cheapest properties here. Um, Let the prices continue going up, hold through, sell afterwards, be able to live on property, be able to farm on my own property, be able to produce my own hay for my animals, which reduces cost because prices, once again, continue to go up. So do something for yourself today. Get out there, find a piece of land, get out of cities if you're in cities. If you're in small towns, still get out of small towns. Just like here, we moved into Carla's house because we were running. Carla was running. Um, Renting does nothing for you. Owning gives you something your money is going into. Whether your money degrades or not, it's still ownership. Yes, you still got to pay property tax and all that. It's not allodial titles like back in the day. You don't own, but it's something. We moved here. She owns. We could put a garden in the backyard. The problem is, this is a quarter acre of land. It is not sustainable in a survival situation. It is not sustainable if the dollar decreases. It is not sustainable if prices continue to go up. It is not sustainable if the mechanism of food going from farm to truck to store to pick up to bring home is no longer available like in other countries. You need at least 10 acres uh, to be able to have woods. You need pasture land, you need farmland, you need flower gardens for honeybees to pollinate your food. You need to know how to grow food. You need to be able to compost. You need to be able to have animals for meat, for them to fertilize, and for the scraps to go to chickens for the high protein, high fat to get eggs and create your own life cycle on your own property. So get out there today, do something. If you haven't gone to the store lately, go to the store, see what's going on. If you have some extra money, grab whatever extras you can right now because we are going to go into that supply chain crisis where you're going to go to the store one day, like a year ago, and say, oh no, I have no toilet paper. Oh no, I have nothing. Oh no, how do I survive? Do you want to be one of those people that suffered and struggled and had agony and anguish a year ago when they couldn't get things at the store and they drove all over the place? Remember, a year ago, gas prices out here were $1.18 a gallon, so you could drive all over. Can you afford to drive all over trying to find that last canned good to survive on at these gas prices, let alone what that price of that canned good is going to be? The store is ridiculous right now, up 60% living off my supplies. I hear you, Robert. Things are going up. Like I was saying out here in Arkansas, I know in Colorado gas prices are up. Out here we just jumped 10 cents to 2.89 a gallon. Wiring, outlet boxes, plumbing, you name it, everything's going up. I just talked to my mechanic yesterday. I dropped my side by side off to get oil change. If you need any tires, oil changes, maintenance done on your vehicle, which my truck needs $2,800. We're $3.70 a gallon in Colorado Springs. Yep, it's gonna keep going up. But if you need anything for your vehicles, I need a torque converter, $2,200. I don't have that money right now. But if you need any type of mechanic work done, get it done now. If you need tires, get it done now. My mechanic told me last night he just got a report in a week. Tire prices are going up 9% as of right now. A week from now, they might change that. It might be up 18%. So right now, the tires are $179 for my tires. It's going to go up 9%. So that's up over $9 a tire. 4 tires, that's going to add up. That's going to get me close to $50 more for the same tires. My new F-150 got repoed. Now drive a Hyundai that gets 40 to 50 miles per gallon. I hear you, Norm, on that. Um, Got 4 new snow tires at Wally World for 300 installed. Yep. Right now is the time to do the buying. I am watching, and I'm sure a lot of you are watching other channels. I stayed up till 3 o'clock this morning watching all these channels of people going, "Hey, look at me in Dollar General. Hey, look at me in Dollar Tree. Hey, look at me at Walmart. Hey, look at me at Costco," and showing the shelves going empty. And me and Carla, we do grocery shopping at Walmart and Harrison, so we drive over an hour because the store here, Harps in Marshall, I mean, the prices are just ridiculous. For a 6 pack of my bottle of Coke, which everybody knows I drink a lot of Coke, I drink about 12 bottles a day. It is $5 here in Marshall at Harps for 6 bottles, almost $1 a bottle. Going to Walmart, I'm getting them for $4. So I'm saving $1 per pack, and I drink 2 packs a day. So right there, that's $2 a day I'm saving. Now that price is up $1. It was $2.98 when I first moved out here last year. So the prices are just going to continue going up, and that's the thing you want to buy now. Um, like I said, mechanic work. If you need tires, I'm trying to figure out how I can even come up with money to get tires on my truck, because if the prices keep going up on tires, at $179 a tire right now, I can't afford it. If it goes up 9% next week, that's a big jump. And then what happens a week later? Like I said, the supply crisis is happening. The ships aren't coming in. People aren't going to work. Uh, if you're big on holiday dinners, and this, I'm gonna point this out right now, and because this is my big thing. I didn't even think about this. I watch White House briefings. I watch Trump's. I watch Biden's. For those of you that don't know, I'm 34. I've never registered to vote. Never will vote. It's a rigged system, in my opinion. However, I do watch. And if you watch, whether it was Trump's or Biden's, whoever press secretary is, you see what they say will not happen. And then boom, turn around a week later, it happens. So whatever they say, they lie. And that's the easiest way to find out where everything's going, what everything's going to happen. And what did they just come out and say right now? They are talking about, if you're going to celebrate this holiday, you might want to start shopping now. The reason you want to start shopping now is because they know in 2 months or a month and a half to Thanksgiving and 2.5 months to Christmas, that supply crisis, the supply chain is going to be devastated by then. So I never even thought about that. And everybody knows I like to cook my Thanksgiving meal and I like to cook my Christmas meal. I don't do all the buying gifts and all that type of stuff, but I do the meals, because that is a big wholesome meal to me. I like to watch my Christmas movies for Christmas, put up my Christmas lights and my Christmas tree, and just enjoy that feel. Buying the gifts and doing all the commercial part of holidays, I don't do. I do it for me, for the enjoyment. And now with Carla and her daughter, we have our family tradition and be able to do that. But if you are going to do a holiday meal, I would recommend buying now. So I'm waiting to find out if this second puppy is being picked up today. I had a puppy picked up yesterday. I was in town yesterday. Did not think about this, but it would be wise, or like old people say, it would behoove of you to buy your turkey, buy your ham, buy your cranberry sauce, buy your stuffing, buy whatever you want for your holiday dinner now. Put it in the freezer now. Because guess what? What's everybody do at the holiday? They wait till the last minute. And some years we have had a supply crisis on turkeys. What do you think is going to happen right now with the supply crisis on everything? You think you're going to have an entire meal to be able to buy, let alone one item? Things are going off the shelf. Things are disappearing. Some things still have not come back on the shelf in the stores here in Colorado, because I've been in Colorado since all this happened a year ago. So you know, companies are going out. I saw several different YouTube videos last night of freeze-dried prepper canned goods. Uh, they're going out of business because they can't even get the produce in to make the freeze-dried food to put in the cans to ship out to you. The shelf-stable 25 plus year food stuff. So if these companies are going out of business, they're not coming back. It's only going to get worse and worse. So do what you can now. I've driven many miles on used tires I purchased. I have two. My front tires are almost bald. My mechanic said I need to change them out soon. Hey, Alan, how you doing? This is true. Lots of open space on the shelves. Yes. So, like I said, throughout this video and the other video you'll see I put up live, I edited it. It's got some music in the background, so it sounds a lot better than a live stream. But get yourself some land. If you have to go into debt to get land that is farmable, has lumber, has pastures, has where you can garden, has water, good soil. If you don't have good soil, get animals. Animals need fencing. Fencing will come from the lumber on your property. Okay, Robert, you say get ramen noodles. A lot of YouTubers say go get ramen noodles, beans, pasta, stuff like that. Yes, they are shelf stable, but do you want to live on that type of food? The thing is, you need to learn how to garden. You need to learn how to have animal husbandry, how to have protection animals, dogs, donkeys, alpacas, llamas, camels, etc. You need animals that are going to be able to protect you in a situation, because another thing people don't think about is what will people be willing to do when there's nothing on the shelves. And with that, I think I may do another live stream video on how you need to protect yourself when there's nothing left on the shelves. So with that, I'll talk to you guys on the next live stream. I'm going to go get a drink, let the dogs out, and then I will come back. You can't find them. My garden kicks butt. That's awesome, Robert. I'm glad to see you're doing that. So if you guys want to stay tuned, well, you're going to have to get off because I'm going to get off of this episode. I will come back shortly, and it will be how to protect yourself when nothing is left on the shelf. I'll see you guys in that live stream in probably about 15 minutes. Take care.